You're listening to the Limitless Broadcasting Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What's the Boogeyman?
If you hang up on me again, I'll cut you like a fish, understand?
It's showtime.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to You Can't Kill the Boogeyman podcast. I am your host, Robbie, and we are still at day 3 of Indiana PopCon. And today I have a very special guest with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Alex. I'm also very well known as Kute Kitti, pretty much anywhere on the internet.
So, the reason why you're joining me today is because you just won first place at the cosplay contest last night.
I did. It was my first time winning first place.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So, yesterday you had a very impressive cosplay costume on, I should say.
Outfit, yeah.
Tell me how you got into cosplay.
Actually, I started in 2012. I didn't have a lot of money to go buy my own Halloween costume, and we wanted to go to a party, so I decided to order a jumpsuit and some duct tape.
Okay.
And a very cheap blue wig, and I made myself Maya from Borderlands.
Okay.
And I'd never made myself a costume before, and I had always, my parents by that time they'd always bought my costumes.
Gotcha.
So I was like, well, I don't have that kind of money, and I was like a broke college kid, so I just got the cheapest things I could, and I hand-stitched a couple things, like pieces of cloth on there, realized how incredibly intricate that is and time-consuming, but I ended up starting off with just hot gluing duct tape because it wouldn't stick to my jumpsuit and cut out designs and stuck it on there, and I got a lot of really good compliments from it, even though it was just duct tape and a leotard.
Yeah.
And then basically every single year since 2012 minus 2020, we all know why.
Yeah, right.
I have done and made my own costume, and every single year I do something to improve my skills.
Gotcha.
So it's taken me from 2012 to where I am now to get to the level that I am.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So do you guys go to a lot of cons?
We actually only started going to cons 4 years ago.
Okay.
Or it was 3 years ago, because it was after 2020. So it was 21.
Okay. So
Yeah.
What was your first con?
This con.
Okay.
Yeah, Indy PopCon. We decided that the cosplay I did in 2021, which was, I did the Bridal Witch from Left 4 Dead 2.
Okay.
And everybody got so many compliments on it that they said, you should take this to a Comic-Con, do it in a cosplay contest. And I never thought to compete. And that year I ended up getting runner-up.
Okay.
And that kind of fueled the fire to, all right, now let's bring this into competition.
Okay.
And so every year I try to get something even better than I did the year before.
Okay. So what's the process of actually building a cosplay outfit? How do you do that?
I mean, for me, the process is you have to... There's been only, I think, 2 times where I'm like, I'm going to do this cosplay. And then I sit on it, and then I go, you know what? I have to feel the character. I have to like the character. I have to really... the cogs got to be turning quite a bit and have lots of ideas. I was going to do Maya again from Borderlands 3, and that was just way over my head and my skill level, and I decided to quit that one. So the process really starts with, I need to want really, really bad to make this process the best that it can be and know that I can. And it has to dwell for a couple months, to be honest.
Okay.
And then to the point where I start dreaming about it, I start thinking about it on the daily, and then I start writing out a plan about how I'm going to put it together, when I'm going to execute it, and then, there's a con coming up. All right, let's do this.
Gotcha.
So that's what that's where it comes first, is you got to have the inspiration.
Gotcha.
And then after that, it's this one I did Pyramid Head, but I did my own version.
Okay.
So there is no girl version of Pyramid Head.
Okay.
So I did a lady Pyramid Head, is what I named it. So it kind of gives me freedom to take the original idea and then play around with it.
So were you Pyramid Head all 3 days of the con, or?
No, I could not get dressed up like that and walk around for all 3 days. I'm exhausted from yesterday.
So you were only here yesterday?
No, we were here Friday. I was.
You know what? You did walk past the booth on Friday.
We did our Borderlands Bando Psychics, or Psychos, which were easy, older, something we dug out of the box from like years ago that I did.
Gotcha. When you walked back past Friday, did you recognize the brand?
Honestly, I think we were just like walking back and forth, and we weren't really looking for anything.
Gotcha.
So, but on Saturday, we knew you were here and Ashley was here, and we're like, that's when we kind of sought out to actually go look for people.
So you're Ashley's friend.
Yeah.
From the Pixie Dust Twins. How did you guys meet?
Through her soon-to-be husband, Brett. He is actually. We started a podcast together, but beforehand, we've known Brett since. I was 18 years old and I'm 35 now. So we've known him for a really long time.
Okay.
And they started dating and...
Tell me about your podcast.
My podcast?
Yeah.
We've been, actually, last Saturday was our 8-year anniversary.
Okay.
The podcast is called the PTO Unlimited Podcast. It was Brett's idea.
Okay.
It was originally just going to be Brett and my husband, Josh. And they said, let's throw a girl into the bunch. Maybe it'll get some traction.
Gotcha.
And I had no idea at the time. I didn't even know what a podcast was.
So what is your show about, really?
Well,
Tell me about the name.
That's kind of the name, like PTO, meaning our personal time off. So it was our time off. We don't talk about work. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about anything stressful. It's just laid back. We talk about growing up in the 90s. We review movies sometimes. We do... when we first started off, we were grabbing these crazy pop flavors and trying them on the podcast.
Flavors.
Yes, like there's actually a place here downtown in Indy called Rocket Fizz.
Okay.
And they have these like really weird tastes. Like one of them was like mayonnaise.
How did that taste? Kind of like
Josh could barely drink it. I said it tastes like hot tub water.
Okay.
If there was any way of describing if you got hot tub water in your mouth, I think like that's what it tasted like. It was disgusting.
At least it's not hot, right?
He at the same time there was one that he tried that was like hot sauce like on wings. It was like chicken and hot sauce flavored.
Yeah.
And he did that plus the mayo and about lost it.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But yeah, we talk about like really anything that we feel we want to talk about. There's not really a specific thing.
How many episodes you got?
Oh my gosh, what episode are we on? 500 something maybe?
Wow. How many do you get good downloads on it?
I think so. Yeah. Josh is the statistic guy, but yes, I feel like we have a pretty decent engagement. We actually met quite a few friends that are best friends now that even live in California that are now coming here even for Ashley's wedding through podcasting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So never met them before. They listened to the podcast. They got into us, we got into them, we started gaming together, and now we're like best friends. So
you play games on the regular?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have a Twitch channel.
So what games do you play?
I play really anything first-person shooter. I really love Call of Duty. I like Halo.
Are you good at it?
Yes.
So the reason why I ask you that is I am terrible at video games. And the first video game...
conceited, but I'm a pretty good female first-person shooter. Like, if you're gonna make fun of my name on Xbox, which is Kute Kitti, when you get beat by me, then I'm gonna make sure that you know you're beat by a girl.
The only video games I'm good at now is Super Nintendo, Super Mario World.
That's Josh's world.
And I can do those all day, but when it comes to shooting games, there's so many buttons, and I'm just like, I always end up shooting at the ground, and I'm just like...
Well, that's how it starts off.
I can't even do this anymore.
I started off on Halo 3. Josh put an Xbox controller in my hands, and beforehand, the last thing I played on was actually what I'm wearing right now, which is a Game Boy.
Gotcha.
I played like Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Game Boy growing up, and then it was middle school, high school, and I just got out of it.
Yeah.
And then we got married, and he said, let's play Xbox. So, and that came with a bunch of different buttons and stuff. I was aiming at the floor,
Yeah.
and then eventually it just...
What's your favorite game of all time?
Oh my goodness.
I like True Crimes. You probably don't even
BioShock is
remember
up there.
that. True
I don't.
Crimes? That was on the PlayStation when the first Grand Theft Auto came out. It was kind of a knockoff, and the guy was a cop.
Nope, don't remember
No?
that one. I only played like the first PlayStation and a couple games on 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've not played a lot of PlayStation games.
Okay. So Borderlands.
BioShock.
BioShock, okay.
BioShock is going to be one, and then the other one that I've thrown probably the most hours into besides Halo is Destiny. Like, Destiny is probably going to take the trophy for everything.
And what is Destiny?
That is a very good question. So it's a lot like, it's a lot kind of like, I was going to say like Halo as far as like play base, but you get into a group of 3 people, and you pick a class like Warlock or, that's what I am, Warlock, Hunter, there's a whole bunch of different classes, and you basically go and fight off enemies and defend your planet, and there's a whole bunch of different side stories, like that's like the easiest.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of really cool guns and specials and stuff, and I don't know.
Gotcha.
It's like a mix of shooter and like RPG.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not really into RPG, but it's like a perfect balance that gets me into it.
Gotcha. So, talk to me about your Twitch channel, and then we'll get back to your cosplay. What do you do? Like, how many streams do you get?
I stream on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights about 9:30, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's twitch.tv/cute_kitty, just because somebody already had Cute Kitty, but they don't even use it.
Gotcha.
And there, the Friday night is usually the first hour. I just talk about, hey, how my week went, and do basically just chatting with.
You get a lot of people tuning in? Are they like, oh my God, it's a girl, let's tune into this?
Every once in a while it gets like that, yes. But I'm not really there to make money and be famous and stuff. It's just, it's somewhere to get on and talk with fellow gamers and friends, and it's an open free space.
I gotcha.
But Friday night I usually do the first hour is like IRL, just chatting with everybody.
IRL, in real life?
Well, that's what the category's called.
That's right.
IRL.
Is that what it is? In really? I'm sorry, I'm
just chatting IRL.
I don't have the game or lingo, so you got to break that down for me.
Well, someone the other day we were leaving PopCon, and someone goes, "Everybody at PopCon, if you're feeling PopCon, yell yeet!" And we all went yeet, and some other person walked by us who was a bit older and went, "I'm so old, I don't even know what that means." And I was, yeet's when you throw something. It's just what you say when you throw something. You just go yeet.
I didn't even know that either.
Like when you toss a grenade or something, you just go yeet.
Thank you for breaking that down, because I'd be like, what the fuck are these people
it's just a sound you make when
talking
you throw
about
something. Yeah.
Is that in a game?
I don't know where it came from. It's not in a game. It's just a lingo that somebody came up with that everybody uses now. Like when you toss something or you throw something.
Do you say fleek?
When you throw something with force very far, you go yeet.
Do you say fleek? You're on fleek?
No, I don't. Oh my God, no. But I do have a segment on my podcast called Millennial Slang. Even though back then we weren't considered millennials.
Yeah.
We were considered something else, but now we're millennials.
Or gooch.
It's
gooch.
Yeah, I was making fun of like the younger generation than us, whatever they are. I don't know. But I go and I grab slang like that I don't know, and I test the boys to see what they think the word means.
Okay. And did they usually get it right?
Some of them, yes. Others are way over their heads, and they're like, "Nah, I'm thrown in the towel. I have no idea."
Gotcha.
And then they get mad sometimes about what it means because it's so stupid.
Gotcha. So let's get back to your cosplay outfit.
Yeah.
So the prep for that. How did you do that? Like, how did you put the costume on?
So
give me all the details.
Yeah,
give me the scoop.
So it took me 5 months to make. It's the longest I've ever taken to make something.
Okay.
Generally, I'll get something done between 2 and 3 months. And this was, when I say 5 months, with the job that I have now, the last 6 months, I'm able to. I do like a 9 to 5 now. Back when I used to work like 14, 15-hour days, and I didn't have the energy. So that also shows in this new cosplay. That every single day, Monday through Friday after work, I took a couple hours. No matter what it was, I worked on it.
Gotcha.
So I did that every day for 5 months.
Okay.
So it also takes a lot of commitment, a lot of time. It is actually really expensive too, because you have to buy all of your materials and whatnot. So with this one, the other thing, like I said before, is every year I try to do something new. I try to work with something like a new material. I try to work with a new piece of equipment.
Gotcha.
This year, I think almost every single thing I did to that costume and material I had never worked with before.
Okay.
So that was another big thing. But I started off just by grabbing some Amazon boxes, taping it together to make the helmet, and I got a really good template going, and from there I precision measured it so that way every point was to the T.
Okay.
Used an app to do that too. Like it was like a triangle app because it's a lot of triangles and I suck at geometry.
Yeah.
So I figured out all the angles properly. I numbered each side on cardboard until I got, and then after I got like the entire template going, I took it all apart, put the numbers together, and traced it onto foam core poster board.
Okay.
Glued all that together like a puzzle, basically like a Lego.
Yeah.
And then started, I did like 3 layers of wood glue, which kind of solidifies the whole thing and allows me to paint over it.
Gotcha.
And I used a layer of what's called Plasti Dip. It's something you use on cars, but it like hardens everything and it's like a primer.
Okay.
So I did that, then I weathered it, painted it, created rust for the first time, which was awesome. I just used a little bit of paint and cinnamon, which I had no idea worked as...
Yeah, neither did I.
A little bit of orange paint and a bunch of cinnamon.
Neither did I.
It also smells really good.
That's good.
That's pretty much it for the basics of the helmet. The great knife, I used pink insulation foam.
Okay.
And bought that off of Amazon. Just got 5 feet of it. Traced again on before. You always practice on cardboard. Always, because if you mess up on cardboard, you get more cardboard.
Yeah.
Don't mess up on like your expensive foam that you buy. So I got the cardboard, I measured I got some really tall heels, measured how tall I was and how big I wanted the knife, traced that onto the foam, cut it out with an X-Acto knife, sanded it down, I hand sanded it down before I knew that there were things called a rotary sander.
Yeah, I was going to say, why didn't you get one of those?
Because
I'm not very handsy, and I even know that.
Things. I knew how to grab sandpaper and use my hand.
I get you.
Or the little thing that you stick sandpaper to and you go back and forth.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you.
There's some people out there like, it's called a blah, blah, blah. I don't know those
I don't know. I'm not very handsy like that either. So,
but I did that, and after that, I got some PVC pipe, used a heat gun for the first time to bend the PVC pipe into a weird, cool, crooked handle. Put that in, hot glued it, and then I did 10 layers of wood glue, and that took about 2 weeks because I have to wait for it to dry.
Yeah.
And that solidifies it and allows me to sand it down and shape it. Then I did a couple layers of that Plasti Dip again to prime it. Then I was able to use a rotary sander.
You're okay?
My uncle said, why didn't you just get a rotary sander? I have one, and then showed me how to use that.
There it is.
So yeah, learned that on the way. After the sanding was done, then it was probably about 6 to 7 layers of weathering and painting and making it look metallic and bloody and...
Gotcha. So how did you actually get into this thing? Like, do you have help doing that, or did you put it all on yourself?
So help-wise, my brother has been prop making pretty much since 5 years old. You give my brother a roll of duct tape and a piece of cardboard, and he'll build you a gun out of it, and it would probably shoot.
Does he actually do that professionally?
He should.
Yeah.
But he's just, I don't know why he doesn't. He has been able to do, like, my mom had to take away, we had to end up hiding rolls of duct tape that we would use for the house because he would just, oh no, we got new duct tape, and then he would go and build some elaborate thing out of it.
Gotcha.
So anytime I had an issue or I had a question of like, how do you think I should build, like if I got stuck somewhere, and he's a super big Silent Hill fan, which is where Pyramid Head is from. So
I didn't know that.
Anytime I had a question about, am I doing this right? Because I've technically never played the games.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen the first movie.
You've never played the games and you're dressing up like these people?
I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen the movie and I've watched my friends play it.
Gotcha.
And I played that character on Dead by Daylight.
Gotcha, okay.
So,
gotcha, I understand.
Where the came from. But yeah, so I'll ask him for advice on how to do things, or he'll say, oh, instead of doing this or putting it together this way, and he'll help me out.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, I told him, I was like, I don't really want you to touch anything. I want to do it myself. Just teach me. So that's what he did.
So tell me about how it was winning last night. How was the contest? How did it go?
I mean, it went amazingly, obviously, but like I was expecting the very first time, and the only award I've ever had was when I did The Witch a few years ago, and I got runner-up, which is basically, I mean, there is no runner-up. It's called Judge's Choice, and basically there's first, second, and third place, and then there's Judge's Choice. And judge's choice is more like the judge, you didn't place, but the judges loved something particular that you did about it. And she gave me a lot of compliments on my special effects makeup and said that she had somebody that works in Hollywood in that department and said, like, I had that type of potential because it took me 3.5 hours to do my makeup that morning.
I knew, I know Ashley was like, oh, they're not even at the show yet.
So the actual contest was about 7:15 last night, so I had to walk around all day in that.
I saw that. You got so many pictures. People, you couldn't walk 5 feet without being accosted.
We got about 200, I think, business cards of mine, and within like an hour, they were gone.
Do people just follow you off of that?
That's how. I mean, like strangers, it'll be like, hey, I can't just be like, hey, I'm Kute Kitti, follow me. So my business card has my barcode and everything. Right. Here, just hand it out to everybody. So that's, how you...
Right.
And then doing things like this.
Building up an audience, yeah.
Yes, building up an audience. But last night they lined us all up. We do like our pre-judging. Like they judge you prior to the contest. Like you have a time slot. So I went at 2:15. You have 3 minutes to explain what did you do, how did you make it, anything special, and then you also give them a craft book.
Okay,
so I had to
really
print out pictures and show them that I did it myself.
Gotcha.
And point out little things that you think that they would miss.
Gotcha.
And then you just kind of cross your fingers.
Gotcha.
And there were 17 winners last night, or places.
Okay.
So there was a bunch of judges' choices, and then there's a first, second, and third place in beginner.
Okay.
First, second, and third place in intermediate, which is me, and then first, second, and third place in professional, which is next level.
So you're not in professional, you're below.
I was told that I could and should have been in that one this year, and you pick where you think you need to be, and
you got to give yourself credit. I mean, man, everybody's accosting you about this. I mean, you could have. What did you win?
I won a $500 cash prize.
Did you really?
Yeah.
They gave you 500 bones for that.
Every first place winner got 500. Yeah.
Well, that's what's up.
Yeah. So I didn't do it for the money. I tried to do it for the recognition. But
did they give you an interview or anything like that?
No, it's just they put you up on stage in front of anybody. The whole con is usually there at the end of the night. So all these people are sitting in an auditorium, and you're walking up on stage. You do a little spin, skit, and then you walk out. And then afterwards they hand out the awards, and they got to intermediate, and they were like, all right, third place is this. And I thought myself, I was like, all right, third, second at most. And then they called third, then they called second, and I was like, because there's so many great cosplays around this year. Really good ones. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yep, I'm not going to get first. And then they said, the way they announced me on stage was, all right, well, we need to give her a few minutes to get up here, but first place is, and then they announced it, and I was like, because it takes me a while to get up my heels.
Yeah.
And they said my name, and I was like, oh my God, but I got such a huge, response from the crowd when I was on stage twirling around, and when I won.
Gotcha.
So I was like,
so
okay.
Did you go out afterwards? Did you turn up?
I mean, we wanted to, and we tried, but by the time we got out of everything, I think by the time we got out of con, we did a couple photo shoots outside in the courtyard where it was dark and I had spotlights on me, so I looked like I was in the game.
Yeah.
So Anna was all dressed up.
So the show didn't say, pose for this photo or anything that?
They take photos and stuff afterwards when everybody starts leaving, they put you up on stage. So yeah, there's going to be pictures probably up on PopCon's website or on their Facebook and stuff like that.
I know we, when Ashley told me you won, we Instagrammed about it, so.
I saw that, yeah.
So, yeah.
I saw that, but it was a lot of fun, and it just makes me go, what am I going to do next? But I'm going to take Pyramid Head. I'll probably do some upgrades to it. I don't know what yet, but we're going to Gen Con in August.
Okay, that's the next one.
Yep, and I'll probably take...
Is there a costume contest there, too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, do you know if you're going to do anything different, or try
I'm just going to upgrade it.
Okay.
Because...
Why not, right?
Yeah, I'm usually what I'll do, because that's what I did for the Witch, is I took it to a smaller con.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, we can add this, we can add this. Once you start seeing pictures of yourself, you're like, all right, let's try doing this, let's try doing this.
Yeah, why reinvent the wheel? It's already a winning formula.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to make a few little adjustments to it.
Okay.
But that's about it. And then I'll try to enter it in, but I don't like taking the same one. I've entered my little sister from BioShock twice.
Okay.
I've entered my Witch 3 times. only because the first one was just like a tiny local con.
Are you a horror fan?
I mean, back and forth. I'm more like into the supernatural stuff, not the blood and guts.
So we ask everybody on this podcast, what is your favorite scary movie?
What is my favorite scary movie? Besides Scary Movie?
I mean, you can say that.
No, my favorite scary movie is probably going to be... all right, the one that messed me up the most as a child was Poltergeist. And
Okay.
I still can't watch it, or if the TV goes into I know it can't go into static
Right.
anymore, but if I see a static TV, I get freaked out.
Gotcha.
So that was one, but my one as an adult, I really like Exorcism of Emily Rose, and
Okay.
I really like the first Paranormal Activity.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Those would be my favorites, yeah.
That's cool. Where can people find you on Instagram at?
Instagram is Kute Kitti, and it's with K, so it's Kitti, Kutekitti.
Okay.
Really everything else but Twitch is going to be Kute Kitti. Twitch is underscore, so cute_kitty.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and
Yes, thank you.
congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you at the next con.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thanks a lot. You guys stay spooky out there.
You Can't Kill the Boogeyman podcast is produced and hosted by Robbie and Sammy Brooksby as part of the Limitless Broadcasting Podcast Network. Post-production and intro by Sammy Brooksby. Follow the show on Instagram at BoogeymanPod. You can also follow the Limitless Broadcasting Company at Limitless Broadcasting and your horror hosts at Robert 1950 Studios and at The Samalam. We also have a TikTok at 1950 Studios. Email your creepy comments and spooky suggestions to us at boogeymanpod@gmail.com. Don't forget, everyone is entitled to one good scare. Have a horrific week.